Hello. Hello everyone and welcome back. This is episode 3 of Quarantine Cooking with Daniel. And today I'm going to be making some stir fry for Judge Joe. I'm really excited. So I wanted to show you guys how I get started with a stir fry. And so I have here 2 bell peppers, one orange and one yellow. I have a fresh zucchini, and I also have a freshly peeled whole carrot that I just peeled just minutes ago. And so, to get started, let's go ahead and let's take over our yellow pepper to the cutting board. So here I'm going to be topping the pepper thinly on the top, just to get through that top, get through the core, and just nudge off the very bottom of it. And that's going to be what we discard, so we can set that aside. Now, as for the pepper itself to cut, we want to avoid getting the white part of the pepper. That's the very bitter part, and you always want to avoid getting that in there. So we're just going to take our knife and we're going to gently and thinly slice all the way through the bottom of the pepper like that, and just like that. So now we're going to be discarding that core as well as the top and bottom. And so now, as you can see, I do have a little bit of white here on the pepper. So what you want to do is you want to take your knife and just thinly slice, just like that, until you get rid of that, and you can discard that to the side. And we're going to do that here as well, because I've got even more white here. Just thinly and gently, very gently slice it. So now, continuing on to julienning the pepper. So, you always want to put the skin side down. It's a little more difficult to cut if you have the skin side up. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to gently julienne our pepper, just like that, in very thin and equal kind of matchstick slices, just like that. So, I will keep at this and show you guys the finished product when I get it done. Alright guys, so now we have the yellow bell peppers done. They are finished, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to get them and put them in our bowl here off to the side. And next, we're going to be doing the orange bell pepper the exact same way. Alright, so next on to the zucchini. So what we're going to be doing is first want to cut off the top very gently, just like that. And lastly, you want to cut off the bottom just like that as well. And those are going to be our discards for the vegetable. Alright, so the first thing to do, the way that we're going to be cutting this, we're going to be cutting it into triangles for today's dish. So you want to take your zucchini and you want to cut it in half all the way down through the long side of the zucchini, and just get it to dig in nice and straight through there, and it slides right off. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put both halves face down like that so that the skin side is showing, and we're going to once again make another cut similar to the one that we just did, where it goes all the way through, just like that, halfway down the middle, and secure our cut like that. And we're going to do that again with the other half as well. This one does take a bit of pressure through the zucchini, and you just want to glaze it through there, straight through the middle like that. Alright, and secure our cut. Alright, so now we have our 4 cuts of the zucchini. So the first thing you want to do, you want to take these and move the extras out of the way. Now you want to turn it so that it's skin side down now, And now we're just going to simply be glazing our knife through just like that and creating these triangles of zucchini. So now that we have the carrot, which is already peeled as I peeled it just earlier, I'm also going to be sharpening my knife. I just went ahead and cleaned it off. Alright, so now that we've got our knife nice and clean and sharpened right there, then we're going to be going ahead and cutting the carrot. So just like this. We're going to go with very thin slices today. Alright guys, so welcome back. The next step is prepping the chicken to get it ready to go in our stir fry today. So as you see, I have 5 chicken breasts here that are ready to go. So first of all, I'm going to sharpen our blade up, give it a good old sharpen before I get ready to attempt to cut the chicken. So what we're going for today are nice and easy, gentle cuts just like that. Going to be putting the chicken into some bite-size pieces, kind of like that a little bit. I'm going to be sure to get it as nice and evenly cut as possible with each piece. And once we get this ready, we're going to be using some delicious Allegro's hot and spicy marinade. And I can't wait to be using that for the chicken. Alright, so now I've got the chicken all cut up in pretty even sizes, pieces. And now the next thing I'm going to be doing is taking my sea salt grinder, putting just a little bit of sea salt on there, and sprinkling just a tad bit of pepper in there, because the main ordeal of our chicken is going to be the marinade, the Allegro's hot and spicy. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a gentle shake, and then go ahead and lightly pour it on top. And while you're doing this, you want to make sure that all the chicken gets part of this marinade. You want to be sure that you're encasing all the chicken, and just like that, that's plenty. So the next thing we're going to do, we're kind of going to just mix it in there with our hand, you know, kind of just keep it all around there. And the last part is, once we get our lid on it, we are going to be putting it in the fridge for about 2 hours. Our chef today is Daniel Hall. Daniel is a self-acclaimed chef, working several cooking-related jobs in his career. Daniel specializes in Asian cuisine, as well as cooking steak. His favorite meal to cook is stir fry, and his nickname is FloppyPENGuinn. Alright guys, so let's get cooking. So the first thing we're going to do, we have about 3 cups of water sitting in our pan right here on this burner. So I'm going to go ahead and set that on high for the minute being so that we can get it boiling. Let it get to a boil. And while that's going, I am going to be putting my rice into the measuring cup. I'm going to measure out 3 cups. Alright, so the next thing to do, now that we've got our rice measured out and we're waiting on the water to boil, we're going to come over to the fridge. We're going to grab our chicken that's marinating and our vegetables. So once the water gets a little closer to boiling, I'm going to be putting the chicken into one pan with olive oil, and then I'm going to be using some unsalted butter in the other pan to saute the vegetables. So we're going to take our 3 cups of rice, and we're going to first turn off the burner, pour in the rice immediately after, and slap our lid on there just like that. Next, we're going to be putting about 1 tablespoon of the unsalted butter into the pan for our vegetables, just like so. And we're going to be turning that on medium. And then our pan for the chicken, we're going to be turning onto 4. And we're going to be putting a light layer of olive oil around the pan, just like this. And then a little added trick, a little bonus for you. Take our unsalted butter and cut just a really light, thin layer of butter and drop it in the pan for the chicken just like that. We're going to go ahead and give our rice a stir now. And after we give it this stir, we're going to move it onto a burner that is not hot. our little waiting zone there. And we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes, at least 5 or 6. And then once it's been 5 or 6 minutes, we're gonna put in soy sauce with it and stir it around and get it nice and soyed up. We're going to be taking our chicken and we're going to be tossing it into the pan just like that. And it's going to make that nice sizzle. That's really what you want whenever you start the chicken going. And we're going to let that go for a while. Always want to make sure that the chicken is always cooked through, especially whenever you have pieces like this. Sometimes it can be hard. That's why it's important to cut them, as I said while I was cutting them, in equal or even pieces that are very similar, so that you can ensure that once the larger ones start to get done, that mostly all of them, if not all, will be done. So now we're working with the vegetables. As you can see in the pan, the butter is completely melted for the vegetables. So we're just going to toss these in here like this, kind of get them all around the pan there, get them going. Now, one more trick with the vegetables that's important is you want to take about half a tablespoon more of butter, and you want to just cut it and just put it right in the pan right there, just like that. And that's a good little trick that kind of gets that butter going around the pan to all the vegetables, or as many as possible whenever you're cooking them. And you want to leave the burner on that medium, maybe just slightly above medium setting. And now that those are starting to go, I'm actually going to turn it up just a little above medium to a 6. Now that those are starting to go, I'm going to come back over to the rice, set the lid off to the side, give it one last good stir, and then take my soy sauce and make sure that I get it all around the rice in the pan there. Once again, I want to reiterate, it's very, very important whenever you're cooking with chicken that you want to make sure all the pieces are cooked through. You know, the last thing you want to do is have a piece or two that isn't cooked through, because then that's a health concern, and we don't want those here on Cooking with Daniel. Once the vegetables start to kind of sizzle and you can kind of hear them cooking, what you'll want to do is take just a little bit of salt and go gently around the pan like that with your sea salt grinder. Take your black pepper and kind of just toss it around like that, and just like that. And we'll be done with those seasonings for right now, and put those to the side and just keep working this chicken while it cooks. Alrighty, so now we have our chicken that is done, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the burner. As you can see, it's still trying to cook, so we don't want to overcook it. So we're just going to leave it there on the off burner. We're going to finish up our veggies here. The vegetables are just finishing up. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide them on over into the pan where our chicken was cooked, and set that pan off to the side because we're done with it now. We're going to remove the lid once again from our rice, grab our rice spoon, take the pot of rice, and just kind of begin to dump it on into the same pan to combine everything. Typically, I would even use a wok. Everyone, should for this. We just don't happen to have one readily available at this moment, but that's fine. Okay, so now we're going to take a spoon. We're going to get some sugar. We're going to get right at about 1 tablespoon. Kind of toss it in lightly, just like that. Gently shake it all around the pan, and that should be plenty. A little less than a tablespoon is what I used. So now we're going to give it one big stir and mix again. Alright, so now we're going to take a clean spoon and give some a taste. So, I think that is delicious. So we're ready to plate. Today's judge is a 2-time returning Quarantine Cooking with Daniel judge, Judge Joe. Judge Joe specializes in Southern breakfast cuisine, as well as grilling various meats. Also, Judge Joe has a refined taste for stir-fry. Joe also taught today's chef many of his cooking skills at a young age. His favorite meal to cook is breakfast. Hi, Judge. So, today, Judge, I prepared for you my favorite of meals. I have prepared a freshly cooked stir-fry. It involves chicken that was marinated in Allegro's hot and spicy, as well as vegetables such as zucchini, carrots, and bell peppers of the yellow and orange varieties.
Well, first off, I want to say I'm super excited to be here today. I'm saddened by the fact that episode 3 is the final episode of season 1.
Aww.
And I do hope we have a season 2.
Me too.
With that, we'll get into this fine looking stir fry. I like stir fry, it's one of my favorite meals. The reason is you got everything together, and you see we've got some vegetables here that add some exciting color to the plate, and it looks like we've got some chicken. So we've got a chicken stir fry, zucchini, some carrots, peppers. All right, well, let's give it a taste. See how you do. First off, just the rice by itself, really good, really good. Let's stir it up here a little bit and see if we can get us a bite of several things. Some zucchini, pepper, some chicken. Wow, that is awesome. These flavors come through. You can tell the marinade's there, but these vegetables, especially with that little bit of pepper, you just have a party on your taste buds. It's awesome. This is amazing, Daniel.
Thank you.
I think this is probably by far the best dish we've had this season.
Wow. Thank you, Judge. That means a lot. And thank you for judging this season.
Thank you for having me again. I hope I'm here for season 2.
You're very welcome. Yeah, today I think was a great success. I think this whole season as a whole has been a really good success. I want to thank everybody for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. It's been a ton of fun to make these videos. It's really awesome, and I know that Judge Joe did a great job as well. I think it's really awesome that we were able to complete this series together, and I really hope that everybody enjoys. Shout out to my mom for getting a lot of the video as well. That's really awesome of her, so I thank her for that a lot. And other than that, guys, please subscribe down below, leave a comment if you have future suggestions for videos, and leave a like and subscribe, guys. Thanks a lot. Peace.